Okay, so welcome again to Know Now Booster. This is a series of short workshops and webinars that UBEC International is preparing for their community, but also for everyone else that would be interested. We are doing Know Now Boosters every last Tuesday of the month and covers different topics from business ones to creative ones, but also to some like general topics like CSR policy or activism or something similar. So it's really open to anyone, no matter of your background or level of knowledge. It's more about boosting you with knowledge and insights into different topics and helping you develop some skills and knowledge in certain areas. So today's topic is how to present an idea, and we're going to go straight into it. So presentation of the idea or business or organization, it's called a pitch. And what a pitch is, like any presentation, it's transferring some information in a clear and simple way to different audiences. So it's all about being really straightforward, being really simple, and being really clear. It's easier said than done, and these are some tips and tricks and some structures that are connected to presenting your idea in the right way. So what are you doing when you're presenting an idea? You actually need to sell. You need to sell your team and saying, why are you the team that will actually make this happen? You need to sell the promise and promising your audience that you are going to be the one and your team is going to be the one that will be able to do this and make this happen. And you need to sell a vision. You need to take your audience through a journey that aligns together with their vision, their values, and their views. So you need to tell them and sell them how do you see this idea changing the world around you. Also, you have to transfer some information about why your idea and not anyone else's, why you as a person or as a founder or as a team, and why now? Why is now the right time to start this, and why this is the best, not only time, but also the place for it. When you present your idea, usually, which is not a rule, the advice is to have one presenter, and that should be the best presenter in the team, no matter of the background of that presenter or role in a team. Having 10 slides, some visual background would be great. So don't overdo it on the number of slides. Less is more. And this is when I say less is more, less words, more photos. So it's not about saying everything, it's saying the right things. Also, if you're using a visual background, having some design or showcasing your brand and value is something that you can use in this kind of way. There are different types of presentations of your idea. These are some of them. Usual one is pitch presentation, which is usually 3 to 5 minutes long, usually 3 minutes, and it's not a lot of time to actually say something. But again, there are some shorter things like elevator pitch, and this is 12 to 30 seconds. And why it's called an elevator pitch? Because imagine stepping into an elevator that takes you to the 4th floor, and you there see a person, a perfect funder, a perfect partner. So how will you, in a simple and clear way, present your idea in 12 to 30 seconds with the goal to get that person that you're talking to get back to you or arrange a meeting or something similar? So it's all about the structure and transferring the right information in a short amount of time. There's also an email pitch deck, which usually is sent as an attachment, and this email pitch deck doesn't include you presenting. So this deck will actually have more words written and being less visuals. And then if you're presenting at a trade show, you usually have time for demo, 15 minutes to talk about it and everything. Also, this is a longer pitch presentation. What we're going to be focusing today is focusing on the pitch presentation, and this is the one from 3 to 5 minutes. I would focus on the 1 and 3 because this is the most usual one. When you're putting together a presentation, I would always suggest starting with a script. A script is something that you will be telling. This script is all about a story and telling that story about your idea. If you're talking about 3 minutes, this is usually just 1 page typed. So it's 1 page A4, so it's not a lot of text that you can actually say. And then after creating the script, then you can start creating a pitch deck or a presentation that would be a visual background of your presentation or what you're saying. When it comes to the structure of the pitch, it's really different. And the structure that I will be presenting here, it's something that should be there, but not in the same order. So the focus is to actually make this unique. Each of us will share a story with our audience in a different way, and this is something that should say that way. And not every single pitch should have the same structure. Not every single pitch should start at the same way or finish at the same way. There is a structure behind it, but that structure talks about having the things that you talk about in there. So cover all the topics that I'm going to be talking about. You should start with an intro, and that intro needs to be something that will focus the audience your way. But that's an intro that you will be explaining some event that happened, whether this is an intro really simple, you present yourself and say who you are and say that you will be taking them through the journey through your idea. That's also good. You can definitely sing. You can make a movement. You can ask them a question. The main thing is, I would say, do something that makes audience focus your way. Tell them a short story or anything else. So get their focus towards what you're saying. The next thing that you should be covering in your pitch is talking about the problem. When you're presenting an idea, presenting the problem in the right way, it's really important. What is the problem? How many people or organizations have that problem? How big it is? How much money does it cost? Who does it affect? You will showcase and get background to why are you actually creating the solution. After talking about the problem, and I would definitely encourage you to also include facts in there, not just a story, but also some numbers if you can. You will be talking about solution or your idea or the value that's bringing. So when it comes to solution, it's something that it's all about your idea and how will your idea work. So really short one, and explain how does it actually solve the problems that you have listed in the part above. In the next part, you should be talking about the market, meaning that the part of the market you're working at and your idea is actually focused on solving the problem in that part of the market. That can be the number of people that has that problem. That can be the number of organizations. That can be depending on who are you focusing on, whether that's national, local, whether it's regional or it's international market that you're focused on, but you're just showcasing how big the market is, how big the market of people or organizations that could potentially buy or use your solution is. The next one is competition. Competition, it's not, people usually are afraid of having a competition, but having competition actually shows there is a market. Having competition shows that there are some people that are already solving a problem and that you can learn from those people, but also that you can, there are some, not only people that are solving the problem, but there are some people that are using the solutions. So competition shows the need for the solution, but not only that, of course, it shows that you did your homework, You know who's there in the market. You know who is doing what and how are they doing it. And you know why you or your idea is better than those solutions that exist there. Also, if this is a business idea that you're presenting, of course, business idea has to have a business model. Business model showcases how are you getting your revenue or profit in. So that can be really different. It can be something from subscription, just pure sales. It can be softwares, license, whatever your business is, or you can be selling services or products. It's all about this, but you need to showcase your business model and how are you going to earn money if this is a business idea. Also, really important part is all about the team. When it comes to the team, the idea is really connected to the team, because the team is the one that will deliver the idea and focus on putting this idea on the market and making sure that this idea really works and solves the problem. And the team is there through all the ups and downs and everything that will happen. So team is really important, because you have to have the team that will make it through it, all the bad and good times. So presenting the team, presenting not only the team that works on the idea, but also if you have some advisors, also if you have someone that is helping you in development of this, this is all giving you credibility and all showing to the audience that you are really here, all of you, to make sure that this really happens. So presenting team and short backgrounds of the team is also really important. Traction. Traction is a word that actually means that how much has been done till now. Of course, if you're really early stage, the traction will not be big, so maybe you should just skip it. But if you're already tested the market, if you already have some sales going on, if you already have some number of followers, number of users, it doesn't always have to be sales, number of people that tested the idea, you should say the numbers here, and you should say that the percentage of those who actually said that they will use your product or are using the product from those who have been using it or starting to use it or tested with. So traction is there to showcase that, again, it's not what you're saying, it's not just a story, it's not something that you actually thought about, it's actually something that has been tested already or being used already. So it gives you definitely credibility there. Every pitch presentation has to have an ask. I mean, when it comes to the ask, it's not always about people, when they see ask, assume that this is money, and it's not always about the money. Depending on the audience, you usually need something. So if you're presenting your idea, you maybe need someone to join your journey. You need someone to follow you on social media, or you need someone to give you sponsorship, need someone to give investment or anything else. But you are definitely there to ask for something. There is a purpose of your pitch. And even if it's just really small one, come and talk to me after this pitch and ask me more questions about the idea that I'm developing. It's also an ask. So make sure that you put an ask in there, because this is a great opportunity when you present in front of audience to get them to take an action that will benefit you. At the end, it's always good to recap. So finishing this in a way that you sum things up, because you have been talking for 3 minutes, and I know it's a really short amount of time, but still there is a lot of information that you have said. So recapping it in 1 or 2 sentences is always a good thing. Here you can say a slogan, you can say your value proposition statement or mission or vision, or again connect with the audience in an emotional way. When it comes to different things that you can also have in your structure when you're presenting your idea, this is kind of different things that you can actually have in there, but this is with the, you can see with the blue dots are the ones that are most important in most of the presentations of ideas: problem, solution, value, business model, competition, the team, fundraising and ask if you're fundraising, but there are other things that you can definitely mention in there. You can say in a summary, you can talk about market validation, underlying magic, competitive advantage, board advisors, milestones, testimonials if you have them, and different things. Again, we are talking about 3 minutes. The 3 minutes is not there to say everything. 3 minutes is there, and the pitch of your idea is there to actually make your audience interested. So this is why it says adjust the pitch according to your audience, because if you know that your audience is not focused on fundraising, or there aren't any investors, you're not going to be pitching an investment presentation. You will adjust it, and maybe at the end say that you're in a place where you are currently in a phase where you're currently raising money, and if they know anyone that would be interested in investing, you're there. But otherwise, adjust your pitch according to the audience. It's not only about how to structure a pitch, it's also about how to pitch. If you're presenting this live, it's really good to have different or to cover different bits and pieces. Of course, we already mentioned your audience matters, so adjust the pitch to your audience. It's also how you present matters. Don't really focus on saying things in the right pace, really focused on being clear, really focus on not saying things too fast and not trying to squeeze a lot of words in a short amount of time. Well, when it comes to presentation, use more photos, less words, because you are there in front of those slides to actually tell the story. If you have a mock-up or demo, do that if you have time. Also, it's not if you're able to, but always test your pitch. So when you have your script and when you have your pitch, test it out. Go to different people, ask them for their feedback, not only about when it comes to what you're saying, but also how you're saying it. So get that feedback, and according to their feedback, adjust bits and pieces, making it simple and clear. Usually, if we're working on a project or an idea, we're into it 100%, meaning that what seems clear to us, because we know everything about it, because we are the one doing it, might seem really complicated to someone else, might see something that people don't understand. So make sure that you create a script and a presentation that it's easy to understand to anyone. When it comes to those details, you can definitely cover that later. Nonverbal communication also matters. If you're standing in front of the audience, don't move, because audience need to focus on what you're saying, not your movement. Try to stand at one spot. Also try to create an eye contact, and not only in one person, but also in more of them, meaning that it's not about looking people into eyes. If you look them just above their head, it's going to be seen to everyone in the audience that you're creating eye contact with the audience. So this is something. Nonverbal communication, of course, if you're using hands, usually use them too. And also practice is everything. So being secure, knowing what you need to say. And it's not about learning things by heart. It's about really saying confidently the things that you need to say. It's all about telling your story in 3 minutes. It's all about connecting emotionally to your audience. So if you're creating something for kids or anything, well, ask the audience, how many of you have kids? Or, oh, do you remember when you were little, when you were doing this? Take them in, make them identify with your story. It's all about emotional connection. It's not about covering the whole structure. It's not about saying everything in detail. It's about telling the story in 3 minutes with the focus on those people in the audience coming back to you and saying, I want to know more. You're not going to be able to say everything in 3 minutes. Don't even try it. And again, if you test it, if it's simple, if it's clear, if it connects emotionally with the audience, then you have something that will enable you to create a larger network, to get the next steps, or some people to follow up your ask. It's all about creating, let's say, an incentive to get back to you and not to say everything. So it's all about storytelling and not about structure. So this was it when it comes to the Nona Wooster. It was a really short one, 20-minute one, but I'm definitely open to hear some questions if you have them.